Monsters, movies, and mayhem.
Oh, I got to think of a good one. Brian, no homo.
On Pride Month, Brian. We just talked about this.
Brian, no homo. Hidalgo.
Brian, no homo. Give me a kiss. No, just say no homo. That's fine. That was probably like the first no homo in like horror movies was Interview with a Vampire. There's two dudes living together, and then he leaves them for another dude in England or wherever they're at, and they're not,
France
doing anything as long as they say no homo.
Yeah, exactly. It's not gay. There's a little girl involved.
I was gonna say it's not gay. They're vampires.
Vampires don't have sexuality.
It's not gay. They're from New Orleans. That's.
Should I stick with no homo or should I?
You can think of another one, right?
Can I? I think that one is pretty good.
We'll do that one. Okay. Brian, no homo. Murder face.
Okay.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And we're back.
We're back with another installment of Monsters, Movies, and Mayhem. We're your hosts, Brian No Homo Hidalgo.
And murder face. Now, why Brian no homo? On Pride Month, Brian?
Yes. Yes, no homo, but
Full
okay.
Homo.
Yeah. Oh, okay, maybe a little homo.
It's all a spectrum.
Yeah, exactly. For the right number.
You know what? I think that's everyone's. That's where the line is drawn, is the number.
Yeah, exactly. I think if there's enough zeros behind that one.
All right.
Maybe this one time.
We all been to college,
But yeah, definitely.
Happy Pride Month, Brian.
Yeah, happy Pride Month.
That's right.
We're both allies for sure.
That's right.
Both comfortable with our sexualities.
But what's even more comfortable is when we get to see that in horror movies.
Yep.
Lots of horror movies are very
gay, queer,
proud queer movies, and that's going to be the topic of discussion for this episode.
There's a ton of queer horror movies, like
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Jennifer's Body.
Jennifer's Body was
Interview with a Vampire, which is this week's topic.
Our choice.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the choice for gay horror.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to say it, but we know.
We chose this one specifically because I didn't feel comfortable talking about lesbian relationships because we're
exactly, we can't really speak on it.
No. Two dudes speaking on
Let me tell you about women's emotions towards other women.
Exactly.
As a woman myself.
Yeah, as a fellow man, let me mansplain womanhood.
Let me tell you something about womanhood.
Yeah, so that's why we didn't choose Jennifer's Body, but we chose Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah, because we're both vampires.
Because
we're both from New Orleans.
We're both men.
Yeah.
That like other men.
Right. But yeah, we chose this one because it was also a very good vampire movie.
And it was also my first time watching it.
No homo? This is the first time watching it?
Yes.
So you haven't seen this movie?
Till this time I had not seen this movie.
You know what's funny?
But I've known about it through like popular culture. And
stuff. Okay, yeah.
And I saw Queen of the Damned first.
Oh, you saw Queen of the Damned first?
Yeah.
Queen of the Damned and Interview with the Vampire are connected, but not in film. In film, Lestat, the main character, is
completely different person.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But these are movies based off of Anne Rice's books.
Yes. I never saw the movies, but I did listen to the audio books.
Okay.
So I do know some similar, where they vary a little bit and stuff like that. But yeah, it was, all in all, it was a really good first experience.
How long are the books? Are they audiobook wise? Like 2 hours?
No, way more.
More than that, huh?
Yeah, try like
slow
15
reading.
hours.
He's a slow reader. Whoever was reading it.
Times 2, or what is it? Times 2 speed.
And then Lestat walks into the office, and then he says, "Hey, give me that cup of coffee."
It sounds like an Eminem rap video.
I was gonna say it sounds like those 1920s gangster movies.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta pick up the slack. See? You know what I'm saying? They
But,
talk too high speed.
two times 2 speed. But yeah, no, it was definitely interesting. Is it a little bit wrong that I was disappointed that it wasn't gay enough?
I think we all had that sentiment because
I think it was because it was what, early 90s or
early 90s, yeah.
No, it might have been like late 90s, early 2000s.
Early 90s.
Okay.
I remember because I was reading about it as a kid in my elementary school library.
But yeah, so because it was early 90s, I'm sure they kind of like,
they're like, let's tone down the gay a little bit.
Yeah, let's tone it down. We'll just insinuate it and stuff like that.
No, give me all of it.
Yeah, exactly.
What's this?
Give me full.
Look, it's Pride Month.
I want Brokeback Mountain with vampires, and I
don't know how to quit you.
Yeah, exactly. And I got something tamer.
It was tame, but I mean, we got Queen of the Damned afterwards, so.
Awesome soundtrack.
Oh my god!
But we're not here for that.
That's a future episode for sure.
Future episode for sure.
My first time seeing Interview with the Vampire, I was a kid. And this was a VHS tape I rented, and I was like, these guys are all vampires like this?
It changed you?
Hold on a second. What's this cape doing on me? What? Why am I talking with a New Orleans accent? Did I what?
Did you come out of the coffin?
Come out with a sparkly cape and a pride cup, a pride goblet full of blood.
Yep.
No,
you didn't come out of the coffin.
No, I saw it and I was actually not a fan of it.
Really?
When I was a kid, only because I had gone to the library and I was reading books about vampires, and whoever wrote this book talking about vampires loved Interview with the Vampire so much that they talked down on every single vampire movie that came out before it. So my favorite vampire movie was Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula with Gary Oldman. We talked about this.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah,
we talked about this.
Yeah, and then the writer was talking down on it, saying how Interview with the Vampire was 1,000,000 times better.
No.
And I was like, this movie must suck if this guy likes it. And I grew to like it, Yeah. I really liked their performances. It was Brad Pitt's. Brad Pitt was like the star of this movie.
Yeah, and then Kirsten Dunst.
She was
12. Like 12, 13.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
Yeah, like acting like a full-blown adult, evil as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit, little conniving like murder child.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
And Tom Cruise as Dio.
Yeah, so Tom Cruise as Dio.
he played Lestat, and he played the hell out of this.
And then we Antonio Banderas as Armand.
Dude, Antonio Banderas must have had the toughest decision to either be a Mexican vampire in Interview with the Vampire or a Mexican vampire in From Dusk Till Dawn, because they came out in pretty similar times.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they're both like, he's holding two scripts. And he's like,
he had to go with the award winner.
He's like, well, you didn't know what was going to happen because George Clooney is in one.
Yeah.
And Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise are in the other one.
Yeah.
Was
awesome. Anthony Banderas
was awesome in this movie.
Yes. I don't think they had to do too much makeup on him. He had that like
he was already pretty white.
I mean, but he had that gorgeous lock of hair. Like,
yeah, they just added extensions to it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man,
what'd I do for that hair?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dude, that scene where he rubs his fingers over the fire. Jeez.
Yep.
That was.
That was.
Am I changing sides? What's going on?
It's Pride Month, baby.
It's Pride Month, baby.
Nothing's off the table.
Happy
even on the table.
I am the table.
But yeah, no. Let's before we get into it, let's
What's our segment?
Our first segment before we get into our movie discussion is our gory hole.
The gory hole.
And for those of you who
the gory hole.
or tuning in for the first time, because every episode, it could be anybody's first episode.
When you're with us, it's always your first time.
Yeah. We'll be gentle. Don't worry.
Happy Pride Month.
We like to discuss the goriest thing we saw this week. May it be a movie, video game, real life event.
Oh my gosh.
Anything.
Yes.
If it's gory, it goes in the gory hole.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to go first or should I?
I'll go first. My gory hole for this week was I've been sharing some memes with my boy, my pride and joy.
Boy.
And he was sending me memes of the audio from Akira. And
No. Leave me alone! Akira!
No.
Yeah, the Akira memes were,
those
going
are
wild.
fire.
So good.
My favorite one so far is the one where it's like my taste in women and it's like pictures of the goth characters from shows.
Leave me alone!
Leave me alone!
Those memes are there's so many because you can do anything with that one.
Yeah.
The template is awesome.
It's perfect.
So I was showing him the origins of that template, Akira. Didn't want to show him the whole movie because even I don't understand it. But the
Show
Akira,
him the whole thing.
right.
Just start that existential crisis early. After that,
Give
show
it
him
3 years.
Evangelion, then show him Berserk, and then Devilman Crybaby. It's time for him to learn.
I mean, you put on a movie in front of kids, like kids now, and they're gonna be like, "Give me my phone.
Yeah.
I gotta swipe real quick. I haven't swiped in 10 seconds."
Yeah, exactly. My Tinder's going off. They're like 6.
No, not swipe like that. I mean, swipe through TikTok,
Yeah.
Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts. But no, I showed him the scene where Tetsuo's like arm turns into a giant, like exploding fat muscle.
Yeah.
And you just see the nerves and tendons like engorge themselves, and they're going through like buildings. And
Yeah.
it's so gross.
Oh man,
I loved it.
I know exactly what scene you're talking about. Like I remember that first time I watched it at like probably his age on like Toonami or something like that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that scene, I was just like, oh my god, this is so gross.
Mhm.
Like just imagine being engulfed in that like fatty tissue.
It's steaming hot too.
Yeah.
Later when it gets cut open, man. But I can't believe they want to make that into a live action. Like, how do you even do that? Bad CGI.
I was gonna say, just don't touch it. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, right. Dude.
There's certain things in this
They're
world.
gonna be all over it.
There's certain things in this world that we do not need to touch.
Mhm.
Haunted items.
Right.
Don't touch it. Yeah.
Sorry.
If you Ouija boards, don't touch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Sorry.
got many of them. Don't touch anime that is just classic. Don't remake good movies.
Mhm.
But humans are humans, and we're just gonna.
Now we have American Old Boy, American Inside. We got live action Death Note.
We got live action Cowboy Bebop.
Oh,
live
no.
action One Piece coming.
Live action Dragon Ball.
Oh, Dragon Ball. That is a horror movie on its own.
Future episode.
No. I watched that movie once, and that's
That is
all.
it.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
But all right, that was pretty good. Gory hole. My gory hole
Mhm.
is a true life event that happened.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we went to go grocery shopping at a store called Five Below. It's kind of like a Dollar Tree, but like a little bit better.
Fancier.
Everything's $5 and up, which I don't understand why it's called Five Below.
Let me tell you something about false advertisements.
But no. Get this. They have such random crap. I found Borderlands 3 on like PS4 for $5 there.
Well, Borderlands sucks. That's why there's Five Below.
I don't agree with that sentiment.
Yeah, let's play a game where you pick up a gun and 10 seconds later you have to choose between 10 more guns.
Give me all the guns.
Give me one gun so I can finish the game and fight all these monsters.
Give me all the guns. Give me different guns. Give me this gun that blows up after I run out of bullets and I throw it at the bad guys, and it blows up and another one appears in my hand.
So this is like
Give me one that shoots.
Briefcase the game.
Yeah.
Where you just go through your briefcase instead of fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Give me a gun that shoots exploding rockets.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just random shit.
Yeah.
Give
so
me
this is like, I always like to, you have the difference between that and Doom, where Doom gives you a lot of guns, but you get like 10. And then you get to upgrade and customize. Whereas Borderlands gives you 1,000 because they each have just one thing you can customize.
Yeah. Actually, you don't even customize any of the guns. You just toss them.
That's why it's Five Below.
You're like, this sniper rifle can cause people to blow up. I'm taking this one instead.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just random shit. But that's neither here nor there. The gory part of this whole excursion was when we were in the parking lot walking, we saw a family walking, and they were walking past a van who had their back open.
Mm-hmm.
And it was one of those where you can hit the button from the inside of the driver's seat,
right?
And the thing closes on its own.
Automatic closing doors.
Yeah. So the wife who was walking past this van hadn't noticed that the door was shutting, and she clips the corner on her forehead like a solid metal thing, just hard. Like you hear the thunk.
Boom.
And then she stopped for a second. She stops for a second and she's like kind of like screaming.
Yeah.
And she has this huge gash, like probably like this long.
Jeez.
And like this wide, just gushing out blood.
Groovy.
But yeah, oh man, we were so horrified after that. Like we were like,
get decapitated.
Oh.
Not in the Five Below, yeah, right.
What a film that.
Put it on
E-Bombs World.
E-Bombs World.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the goriest thing that has happened to me. And it was in real life.
Yeah, that woman had a huge gash.
Oh yeah. Like,
take pictures next time.
It was going to require stitches, like a lot of them.
Oh, so it was like open.
It was open. I'm pretty sure it hit her like the
she
bone.
An old lady?
No, she was like I would say like mid 40s, maybe.
Walk it off.
Yeah.
Rub some dirt on it.
Yeah. Just go into Five Below, buy some super glue. We'll shut it right now.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
In a zombie apocalypse, what do? You run inside, you heal the wound.
Yeah, exactly. Super glue, some green herbs, and you mix your green herbs together. Maybe red herb and a green to.
You're going through your briefcase trying to organize everything before you heal yourself.
What was that? Speaking of blood and tons of it, you know, we could talk about our movie now.
Let's talk about our movie.
Our movie, Interview with the Vampire, you know, starring Tom Cruise.
1990s vampire movie. Starring
Tom Cruise.
Brad Pitt.
Kirsten Dunst. Antonio Banderas.
Mm-hmm.
What's that dude? Who's the actual interviewer?
Oh, Christian Slater.
Yeah, Christian Slater. I always forget that he's in it because he's in like a few scenes.
Yeah. He's barely in it, and he's like the first like name on the credits.
Yeah, and huge asshole in real life.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Why?
Oh,
I don't know anything about this.
Oh, ask Sterling.
Well, let's get your inside scoop.
I don't know the full story.
You just know he's an asshole.
Yeah, according to a friend of ours, he's a huge asshole. And
hey, if the evidence presented to me is trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
I need a little more concrete evidence.
Well, all right. So I mean, take it or leave it.
Okay.
You know. Allegedly, he's a huge asshole. Let me cover my ass. All right, don't come at me.
He might be a nice guy. You watch the show.
Yeah, he might be the two people.
Sub Slater.
Yeah. Let me take that back. Allegedly, a huge asshole.
Okay.
In real life.
I mean, I don't really care about it, so he could be an asshole.
Don't come at me. Don't. All you Christian Slater fans, don't.
All of them.
Yeah, all like 2.
Happy Pride Month.
Yeah, exactly. Don't come at me. This was hearsay. I don't know for a fact, but allegedly, he's a huge asshole.
Okay.
But yeah, moving on.
He's a huge asshole because he stalked a vampire and made him give him an interview.
Yep. But yeah, let's.
Well, that's how our movie starts.
Yeah, exactly.
Christian
Well,
Slater's stalking a vampire.
well, it starts off with like those shots of San
Water.
Francisco.
Gay.
Why is it okay? Why is every vampire movie, almost every vampire movie, always starts off with like an aerial shot of water?
Well, I think that was just a 90s thing.
Was it?
The Shining did it.
Yeah,
Hocus Pocus did it.
Hocus Pocus.
The Craft did it. The Craft wasn't even near water. Lost Boys, they did it too.
Exactly. Lost Boys. Wow. So it's So it's
people just use this stock footage,
of
change the lighting a little
aerial footage of
of whatever landscape,
depending on
like,
what city they're in.
Mm-hmm.
They're just like, oh, just aerial footage of this.
Yeah.
But and we get some weird like choir chanting music, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, I like the tone that they're setting with that.
Yeah, it's all dark. You get shots of like grungy looking, like San Francisco, like the dark, like homeless population and everything.
The gays.
the homeless gays.
The theys.
No. And then we see Christian Slater stalking Brad Pitt.
Poor Brad.
poor Brad.
He's being stalked already. He just got here.
Yeah. And then it cuts to them starting their interview. You know, it's weird. He sets up the recorder. He lights a cigarette and asks him if it's okay. And he's like, it's not like it's gonna do anything to me. Like, I'm immortal. And he starts to explain his story. But before he gets into his story, you get this, like, he's in the shadows. You can't quite see him. But out of the shadows comes out the most, like, gorgeous looking vampire. It's Brad Pitt.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, the man is a good looking dude.
He is wearing contacts.
And they did put like makeup on him to make him look translucent and stuff. You know how they have those weird, like, veiny, like almost like baby skin.
You can see his, like, varicose veins on his face.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like a fresh newborn. You know how they're all veiny and kind of gross looking sometimes.
Yeah, that's Brad Pitt. But yeah.
Gorgeous, gross, veiny newborn.
That was the tagline for Interview with the Vampire. Brad Pitt starring in this new role, veiny, gross baby.
But so he comes out of the shadow and he starts explaining, and then we cut to 1791, and it's Brad Pitt is playing Louis.
No, Louis is probably the laziest attempt to name a character. Because where are they? Louisiana.
Yeah, exactly.
What's his name? Louis.
Well, it's not.
What should we name this character from Austin, Texas? Austin.
No. Louis is I'm pretty sure, because he's what, French or something like that.
Well, everyone from New Orleans is part French.
Yeah, exactly. So he's Louis is, I'm pretty sure, is like a common name or something over there. You know.
Yeah, but I'm saying, there's lots of common names. You can name him Pierre.
Well, I'm sure Louisiana is named after someone named Louis.
And then we have a character named Louis, that's from Louisiana.
Okay, all right. Well,
there's Brooklyn from Brooklyn.
What is this, a stripper? Like,
that's the interview I want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Vampire strippers.
Brooklyn is a stripper name. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Brooklyn.
But yeah, so we cut to 1971.
Nope, not 1971.
The swinging 70s.
Yeah.
No, 1791. So we cut to 1791, and we meet Louis as a human. He's 24. He just lost his wife and his daughter.
I mean, that happens in 1794.
Yeah, exactly. You sneeze and you die.
Yeah. It
but
was rough back then.
He's in a deep depression, and he's just doing anything and everything to die.
Yeah, but
besides killing himself, he's just like, he's cheating at cards and purposely getting caught. He goes with a sex worker, knowing that her pimp is right behind them, and they're gonna probably mug him and kill him.
What's a pimp gonna do in 1794? Pull out his dagger.
Yeah, it's still.
Give me your money.
Yeah,
Pull out my musket. You just wait till I load this musket up, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me your money.
Yeah, but you know, he's got a death wish. He wants to die, so he goes off with that sex worker.
Yeah,
and you know, right as he's about to get mugged, something comes out of the shadows and picks off the pimp and the sex worker, and then picks him up.
Flies him off somewhere.
Yeah, flies him up into the sky and starts to like feed on him.
He's dead.
And then drops him into the river.
End credits.
Finn.
Yeah.
But you know, he wakes up. You know, he wakes up the next day and
he's like not totally scared because he's also like threatening whoever captured him.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm a big important person. People are gonna be looking for me. And I'm like, oh, that's right. At the beginning of the movie, he was talking about how he was like a master. Yeah. And he was a plantation. He was like what, 24?
Yeah, he was a plantation owner. He had slaves. He had everything. And I don't know if you've seen the series that was just released on AMC.
No.
But they changed the plantation to a brothel. So,
gay.
It's a gay brothel. Everyone in there is men.
Oh, that makes it better.
No. But apparently there's a lot more like actual nudity and like men getting it on.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, maybe I'll watch that next.
Oh, so everyone that was like, Interview with the Vampire, is it gay? Go watch the TV show.
Oh yeah.
It's gay.
It's very gay.
But he was one thing that stuck with me about Louis when he's talking in the interview is Louis is kind of coming off as a real boomer when he was doing the interview, because he was like, oh yeah, back in 1794 I was 24, but I was a man back then. I was, you know, had a wife, kids, I had my own plantation, you know, I'm halfway through life, unlike your generation, Christian Slater, 26, and he's just interviewing vampires. What a loser.
Yeah. Yeah, he's very smug. He's you know, I mean, he's a vampire, so they kind of look down on non-vampire.
Their food.
Yeah, exactly. Cattle.
Yeah.
It'd be like
I mean, I talk like that to my steaks before they're made. I'm like, look at you, dumb cow. You think you're proud of yourself?
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing with your life?
Eating wheatgrass.
Yeah. So after swimming out of the Mississippi, we cut to the next day, and he's in bed. He feels like shit. He looks like he's dying. And Lestat comes into his bedroom, and
who's Lestat?
Lestat is Tom Cruise.
Oh snap!
Tom fucking Cruise, who
straight
is
out
also
of Risky Business.
Yeah, straight. Was it?
No.
Okay. Probably Top Gun.
Yeah.
But Tom Cruise comes in. He plays Lestat, who is Louis' maker.
Yeah. His creator.
Yeah, his creator. And you know, explains to him what happened, and you know, he gives him the choice. You know, you can die or you can turn, and I could turn.
Choice I never had.
Yeah, exactly. So he chooses to get turned, and it looks painful.
Yeah, he's dying.
He's dying. He explains to him, your body is dying, but you're gonna come back. Mm-hmm. And as he's dying, you know, the color fades from his eye, or from his skin, and then his eyes change a different color and stuff like that.
When he was transforming, he did get to see the sun for a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't exactly kill him right away, like in a lot of vampire lore. But when it was like going down, he got to see it one last time, and it was a really good shot of the Louisiana, like the swamps with the sunset going down on it. But when Lestat was talking to him about how he wants to turn him into a vampire, when he sees him at the poker game and he catches him cheating, and the guy like pulls out a gun to like, you know, give me my money back.
Yeah.
And Louis just rips his shirt open and he's like, right here.
Yeah.
Shoot my heart if you can find it. And Lestat's like, damn,
yeah,
dude, he's a badass, dude. I need this guy. He's gonna be my life partner.
Yeah, he's like, I want to do some body shots off of that chest.
Dang, Lestat was
washboard abs. He must have seen Thelma and Louise before this movie.
and he's got a plantation. Like I got it made. I don't have to work a day in my life.
Yeah.
The stats just.
Oh man, he's the
anybody with a
worst.
plantation.
He's the worst.
The stat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, but he is the absolute worst.
Yeah, he definitely wants
toxic-
to use
Toxic
Louis.
boyfriend.
Yeah, he is. He is the
Toxic gay masculinity.
yeah. He wants Louis not for.
So who's the
right
top
reasons.
and the bottom? Or do they?
I'm gonna say
switch?
Lestat.
You-
Lestat's the top.
Oh yeah.
If it happens, when I saw them together, I honestly didn't know they were gay because Louis doesn't look interested. It looks like Lestat is more interested in Louis.
Yeah. That's the case. Like,
I know they're a thing together. Like in the
well, it's
buzz
because
we were talking
it's
about.
not. It goes from like them liking each other to Louis despising Lestat.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that later.
Mhm.
But he turns, he gets to see the sunlight one last time, and then we cut to present day again
Mhm.
during the interview, and Christian Slater, the interviewee,
He's, oh, you're serious about being a vampire?
yeah, he's like, oh, you're straight up vampire, and then he starts asking him like, more questions like garlic, and they're like, nah, that's bullshit. Crosses, he's like, oh, I love crosses. It's like the only things that are true are the coffins. It's a necessity for them. They have to sleep. But
They also take another jab at Bram Stoker's Dracula. I was like, you dicks.
yeah.
Love Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Uh,
Whatever.
But so he asks him what it was like to turn. What was the first night like?
Yeah.
And he explains to him it's different. Like you see things clearer at night.
And then they show you with
Yeah.
like visual effects.
Yeah, exactly. The weird statue. He's
Dude,
like
with the
I know
statues
they
in the
weren't
graveyard.
moving, but you could almost feel them moving, and then it shows that weird like statue moving,
It shows the eyes
like shifting.
shift towards you like when you're watching it.
Uh,
That was creepy.
and then the owl and stuff like that. Yeah, it was pretty cool, like all that stuff. And then we get back to 1791, Louis' first night as a vampire, and he needs to feed for the first time.
Here we go.
And Louis is having a hard time. He doesn't want to kill anybody.
So you're telling me Louis switched sides and he's having hard times the first time?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
I'm
not
a little
all
nervous.
Yeah, exactly. He's not. He hasn't fully come out of the coffin yet. He's still in there.
I like that saying.
He's
coming out of coffin.
yeah. He's still within the coffin a little bit. So he's feeding on rats and everything. And Lestat.
Why do you think he doesn't want to eat people right away?
Because he's still holding on to that like humanity that's it's still there.
Like life is precious kind of thing?
Yeah.
He's a plantation owner, right?
Only white lives were.
Whoops. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, exactly. At that time, only.
Louis. Jeez.
Well, no, he was actually pretty good with his slaves. I mean, besides owning them, he was.
Nah, he's one of the good ones.
I mean, like his slaves worried about him. There was a couple of scenes where they. But like I said, that's we're getting ahead of ourselves, but they let's see. So because they live on a plantation and everything, they have to put on that almost the illusion that they're still human. So they're having dinner, but they never eat.
Mhm.
All they have is wine glasses, and
There's just like rotting food on the table.
yeah, there's rotting food, and he's they're feeding on rats and everything. But Lestat keeps convincing him like we have to feed on humans. We can't live on rats. This is disgusting.
Mhm.
So Lestat takes Louis to a party.
The 1794 party.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
lots of powdered wigs.
Oh,
And
nice.
it's like people probably didn't smell good. Like they're wearing those big old like dresses, and the moles. Everyone had a mole.
We should have dressed up like that for this episode.
Yeah.
Now take showers.
But you know, Lestat like eyes this like widow lady with a dog,
Mm-hmm.
and like her manservant,
Yeah,
like her
the femboy.
Yeah, the femboy.
Yeah.
But you know, they eyeball them and they convince him to go out, and Lestat's kind of like flirting with the femboy.
What's up, Ma? I know you're 50, but
You're
not too old for me.
Yeah,
He's like
exactly.
200 years old.
And you know, Louis goes off with the widow, and you know, he's about to kill her,
Mhm.
and he snatches up her dog.
This scene where he snatches up the dog, you just hear a yelp, and the lady just starts screaming
her head off, and then Lestat's like, "Oh crap!" Kills the femboy,
snaps his neck.
and then goes up to
Alright.
her and just kills her immediately, like right in front of him. And he's like, "You fucked it up again."
Keep your rat.
Yeah, keep eating your rats and your dogs and stuff like that. Who gives a shit? You
He
know?
also eats some like juice pouches.
You know, and it's and you know,
He can't do it.
no, he can't. You know, he's
What happened to the badass? I'll die for any reason.
Yeah,
you give
exactly.
me, you know,
It's
he's looking for trouble around every corner.
It's-
Lestat kind of got the short end of the stick of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think he was more attracted to the suicidal version, but once he was given a new lease on life,
I mean, when
sort of.
when Lestat sees a Louis that is begging for his life to end, and then now he gives him the exact opposite of that.
Yeah, exactly.
And now Louis is kind of a bitch.
Well, it's not more. It's more of like, you know what? I think he's regretting his choices. I think he wanted to die,
Yeah.
like for real, and now he has to live with that, like the fact that, oh, I'm immortal now. I'm not human anymore. I can't die willingly. I'll never die. I'll
Yeah.
never get old.
Yeah, but now you have those emotions and feelings and memories of your past life forever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's a lot for him. You know, that's why he ends up going to his, you know, his plantation and feeding on all of his doves.
Yeah.
And at one point, you know, he gets so like, he's just lost it. He doesn't want to be a vampire and everything. And his
Can you imagine being a vampire in 1794? I'd be bored out of my mind. What are you gonna do? Watch the crops?
yeah, exactly. But you know, he's having like a downward spiral, and his like, how would you say it? She's there was a specific term for them. She's the house
Slave.
Yeah, she's a house slave. She comes up and she starts telling him like, "Oh, we're worried about you. This man that you brought into the house, he's pure evil. You know, all the other slaves, you know, are doing voodoo and all this stuff to get rid of him. Like, you should get out." And Lestat kills her. Or no, Louis kills her.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Louis kills her, you know, because he just couldn't help himself. He needed to feed. And he kills her, and then he walks out of the plantation. He starts setting the building on fire. And he walks out, and he's just like screaming at all the at the other
He's
slaves.
trying to scare them off.
Yeah, he's scaring them off. He's like,
to
"I
save
am the
them away from
devil."
Lestat.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm the devil," and stuff like that. See what I did? You guys are all free. Go, like, just leave this place, this cursed place.
And they're all from Louisiana, so they believe in the voodoo devil.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're like, "No, we're out of here."
Yeah, so they burn the place down, and Lestat is pissed.
Mhm.
He's like, "Great, you know, we had a cushy lifestyle. You ruined it. Like, we could have just lived there, fed, gone to these parties, and just been
It's
cushy."
funny.
He's just a toxic boyfriend.
But it's funny because earlier they talk about how before coffins, what they would do is they would sleep in the dirt.
Yeah,
They would make little like shallow graves, and they would cover themselves in dirt, in like shallow grave dirt. And that's what they do after they leave the house that's like burning. They're like, "Well, great, now you get your wish. Now we're gonna go back to the old times and sleep in dirt. Thanks a lot, Louis."
yeah, exactly. But you know, after he burns down the place, and Louis kind of takes off and starts like sleeping in like the sewers and stuff like that. But Lestat like convinces him like, we could still salvage this. Come back to me. You know, he's that toxic boyfriend who just keeps like gaslighting you into coming back and trying to like it's not so bad. Come
at the 2 a.m. What you doing?
Yeah, exactly. What you doing? What you wearing?
1790s blouse with ruffles and a blue collar.
That sounds sexy.
Thank you.
But you know, he convinces us to come back, so they start staying at staying at like hotels and stuff.
Yeah.
And you know, at one of the nights, Lestat brings back 2 sex workers.
Yeah.
And he's like making out with them and stuff like that, and trying to convince Louis to be like, join me, like almost like insinuating like a weird orgy, but it's Lestat being like, let's kill these
some
two.
food.
Yeah, let's get down on these two. But Louis just like, no. So Lestat just kills them both. He's just fed up. And you know, so after that, you know, Lestat walks off and he's trying to figure out how he's going to fix this. Like Lestat wants to keep his man.
Yeah.
Like he wants to fix the relationship. So he's walking through town and he notices the plague part of town.
Oh yeah.
And so he's like,
going on around this time.
Yep. So he notices, you know, a little orphan girl. And
Kirsten Dunst.
And oh man, this part was so sad.
Mm-hmm.
She's just sitting in her house with her mom's corpse that's like rotting away.
Right.
And she doesn't know anything better. Like she doesn't know have that concept of death.
Yeah.
And they walk in, you know, Louis and Lestat, and he's like,
you're not gonna leave this orphan alone.
Yeah, like, you know,
her parents are dead.
Like, you know, her parents are dead. You know, he's trying to convince him, like, you know what fixes a failing relationship? A baby. You know what I mean? Like, it's the original, you know, keep a boyfriend baby.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Lestat was the first.
Yeah, exactly. He was the first one. You know, he's trying to that anchor baby, that anchor plague baby. So, you know, Louis thinks it's Mercy and turns her.
Yeah, his first kill.
Yeah,
and it's a kid.
Yeah, and her transformation, like Louis' transformation, was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like her hair was kind of like disheveled and stuff like that.
It was dirty.
It was all dirty and stuff like that. But when she turns, they like naturally
Goldilocks.
Yeah, she gets those like
curls.
Those curls. What's that famous like Shirley Temple curls, like tight curls. And she looks like a doll, like a human doll. But she's a vampire.
Right.
And you know, we get shots of Lestat, you know, Louis,
and what's her name?
Claudia.
Claudia.
So we get shots of like
the new family.
Louis is like the maternal part. He's trying to like raise her up like his daughter and stuff like that. Lestat's like, fuck it, I'm gonna turn you into like the perfect killing machine.
Yeah, he's the survival
like paternal dad. Yeah.
And Louis the emotional mom.
Yeah. But you know, so we get scenes of Lestat taking Claudia out to like pick off people. Like she's sitting at like a bench by herself at night crying, and this lady walks up and they just kill her instantly.
Perfect setup.
Yeah, and
she's the bait.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is going on, you know, time is passing.
Yeah.
You know, it cuts to their clothes is changing. Like it's
they have pants.
Yeah, their blouses are becoming like button-up shirts and instead of blouses and stuff like that.
Is that a car? There's like one like car struggling to go.
Yeah, they're wearing top hats and all sorts of stuff. And you know, so I think it's like 20-something years pass by.
Right.
And Claudia starts to notice things.
Yeah, her mind is.
Yeah, she's
aging.
Yeah, her mind has aged, but her body is staying the same.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine just being like a pubescent girl, like not even a pubescent girl, like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
But you're stuck in a child's body.
Well, she spends lots of her time reading about like hormones and growing up.
Yeah, reading, and they're buying her dolls
biology.
and stuff like that. And she's like, I don't want this shit. I want to be one of them. Like, I want boobs.
Right.
But they're like, you're never going to have that. And
but you're never going to grow old. You're never going to get sick. You're never going to die.
Yeah, like what's that movie?
Lost Boys.
No, well, I was gonna say that other one where the old people turn into like aliens or something like that. It's not Species, is it?
No, it's not Species.
You know which one I'm talking about?
No.
You'll never die and you'll never get old.
No, I don't remember that one.
Oh,
They did say that in Dr. Sleep.
yeah. They say that in a lot of things.
I don't know what old senior alien movie you're talking about though. Future episode.
Yeah, future episode.
Sounds good.
But you know, she gets mad and she's like, I'm done with these dolls and stuff like that. And that the scene where she cuts her hair and it just grows back again, like,
oh my god,
the curls. I'm like, this is great.
You just hear screaming from afar.
Yeah, she's just pissed.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, later on you find they go into her room and they find the lady that was like at the dress shop or something like that, just dead. In stuff between her dolls and stuff like that. Because she wanted
made her a life-size doll.
Yeah, well, she was the lady that she's like, I want her. I want to be her.
Yeah.
And if I can't be her, I'm gonna kill her.
And I'll have her.
Yeah.
In my doll collection.
But yeah, she's a little psychopath.
Well, I mean, she's losing her mind.
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, I mean, Lestat turned her into a psychopath.
Well, also, Louis turned into a vampire, which put her in a bubble, and you're growing inside that bubble.
Yeah,
There's nowhere for
exactly.
you to
You're
go.
just your whole family is built on just toxic.
Oh yeah,
a toxic relationship.
This kid is messed up.
She is. Yeah, she's gonna need therapy. Sequel is Interview with a Therapist. Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so you know, she
all her anger is like aimed towards Lestat.
And well, at first Louis too.
Well, Lestat was like, "Well, go ahead and ask Louis who turned you into a vampire."
Yeah, yeah.
Shifting the blame on the other parent.
Yeah, exactly. He like
go
I
ask
said,
your father why you're like this.
Lestat is the worst. He's a deflector. He's toxic. He's just a
I'm
user.
surprised he didn't walk out to go get milk and cigarettes.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Oh no, but so you know, she gets mad at them both, and Lestat's like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving. I don't need this."
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's the dad that goes off to the bar and avoids the family problems at home. So he takes off, and Claudia finally is like, you know what, Louis, I was wrong. I don't hate you. We're just stuck. We're stuck in this toxic relationship, and Lestat won't let us leave. And she comes up with an idea to kill him.
If only it was just the two of us.
Yeah, exactly. Just the two of us. We
dead
can
bodies
make
everywhere.
It, we tried. But so she comes up with a plan to kill Lestat. Like, and Louis like, where are you going with this?
Mm-hmm.
And
then Lestat shows up.
Lestat shows up, and Claudia comes into the room, and she's like, Lestat,
hey buddy,
I'm sorry for I'm sorry for how I acted.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a peace offering, and it's two like dead twin boys.
Yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
Almost dead.
Almost dead. She's like, oh, they're just drunk.
Yeah, I gave him too much
alcohol.
Yeah.
So he starts feeding on them, and she's like, surprise, motherfucker, they're actually dead.
Ha!
He's like,
gotcha.
He's like, hey, how? And she's like, I gave him a drug that gives them the appearance of warm blood.
Mm-hmm.
But they're actually dead. And you know, according to their lore, the only weaknesses that vampires have is you cannot feed on dead blood.
Right. That's why they always stop before they have the last drop of blood.
Yeah, it's poisonous to them. So you know, he's like starting to like fall. He's choking, and they set the house on fire, and they take off, and
Lestat's dead.
No. They kill him there. They slice his throat.
Yeah.
And then they go and bury him in the swamp.
How do you bury somebody in the swamp?
Well, they put him in the swamp.
Well, I mean, they like put his body into the river and like, throw a big ass rock to make sure he sinks to the bottom of that river.
Yeah, exactly. They want to make sure he's dead and gone.
Yeah, vampires may not be able to die, but they can drown.
But yeah, so they go back. They're like, yes, we're finally free. Let's leave. Let's go explore.
Louis feels very like he's like, I'm glad he's gone, but he was also all I knew about vampires. My vampire world is now just me and Claudia.
Yeah, but Claudia's been like, she's trying to convince him like there's got to be more.
She's like got a bird cage with birds in it. She's got new dresses. She's playing the piano. She's living her life.
She's ready. She's ready. They come up with this plan that they're going to travel the world and look for vampires. They can't be the only two.
Right.
She's been reading and studying and stuff like that. So on the day of their move, they're about to leave, and guess who shows up?
Christian Slater.
Yeah, he time traveled. No, Lestat.
This was the best entrance I've ever seen in a vampire movie.
Yeah, and he's all like, he looks like a water log. Like,
I was gonna say he looks reptilian.
Yeah, he's all like bloated and stuff and wet, and they're like, how the hell did you?
He looks dead.
Yeah, he's like, how the hell did you survive? And they're like, he's like, I fed on all the swamp creatures,
alligators,
frogs, snakes, and frogs.
Took a page out of Louis' book.
He's like, it just took me a little bit of time to heal up because that's all I had.
Enough to play the piano very menacingly.
And then, so they want to make their escape. So they set the whole house on fire on top of him.
Right.
They're like, this should finish him off, which accidentally set the whole town on fire.
Yeah, not a lot of fire department teams were around back then.
No, so it just, I'm pretty sure they started.
Let's burn up the house. They end up burning up half.
Yeah, exactly. Like the Great Chicago Fire, pretty much.
Whoops.
For
Christian Slater was like, that was you. You started the big fire that I read about in history class.
Yeah, exactly. You guys killed the hundreds of people. But yeah, so they
get on their boat.
They get on their boat and they take off all over the world, and they end up in Paris.
Yeah, but of course, at the boat ride, Louis having his buffet of rats.
Yeah, exactly. That's all.
Everyone's like, man, this is the only boat ride I've been on where there's no ship rats.
Yeah, there's no ship rats. But even then, like, there's still people missing because Claudia's eating them.
They're just throwing dead bodies over the boat.
And the people on the boat are like, oh man, this is bad.
Plague is nuts.
Yeah, exactly. There's no rats, but this plague is killing everyone. But yeah, so they finally, they go to Egypt, they go to all over the place, and they end up in Paris.
Right.
And
gay.
The gay capital of the world, Paris. Everything goes there.
Yep.
But yeah, so they stay in Paris for a good while. They're just living their life, and one night, Louis just walking down the street, and he approaches a man approaches him, and he starts like messing with him, and it's like a mime.
Yeah.
And then he starts doing that like walk up the walls, and he's like, holy shit, it's another vampire.
Tell me I meet I meet another vampire in a whole new world.
And it's a lame ass. Yeah, he's a dick mime. Like, this is why we should hate mimes. But then we get the reveal that the mime is like part of something, like a traveling circus.
Yeah. And
the leader is Armand.
Antonio
Banderas.
Yes.
Let's say it correctly. Antonio Banderas.
Right.
That's the most.
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas.
Puss in Boots himself. Shows up in a vampire suit. And
with the extensions and
he gives him a card, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, come see our show. And he takes Claudia to go see a show, and it's vampires pretending to be humans, pretending to be vampires.
Yeah. And doing like circus.
What a cover up.
Yeah, exactly.
No one's gonna believe the people pretending to be vampires are vampires.
it's hiding in plain sight. Like that's the best thing you could do is hide in plain sight.
These shows were great though. These shows were like if Faces of Death was like in the 1800s.
I was gonna say it's like Faces of Death meets Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Yeah, especially with the old school pyro that they had. and the fake blood that they had to use was just like streamers. You know, they'd slice someone's throat and streams would come out. They would have some guy dressed up as Death would come out with like a real scythe and start cutting up the set. And then they bring out a woman, that's screaming for her life, like pleading for the audience
and everyone's
to help.
like,
"Oh yeah, it's a great show." Yeah, and then
everyone's just like freaking out.
Kill her!
Yeah. Cut her fucking head off. That's what we came for.
And the guy who's running the show, he was the guy who's like narrating the show for the audience, is talking about how she's gonna be sacrificed, and some woman in the crowd's like, "No, don't do it, take me, I love you." He's like, "Wait your turn, bitch." I was like, dang, in the 1800s they had some nice comebacks. And they're about to kill this girl, and it looks realistic. Like it doesn't look like they're messing around. And then they rip her clothes off, and you're like, "Oh, this is grim." And the whole audience is just like quiet, and they're just staring at the show. But before they like all kill her, a big explosion happens, and it's the Armand. Armand comes down, long straight black hair, like red, like kimono looking robe.
I think he's my favorite character in the whole movie.
He was awesome.
He's so cool.
Now, what importance of his character do you think he was to Louis? Because after having a toxic boyfriend that you kill twice, who's your next boyfriend?
Another?
No, like an overprotecting.
Yeah.
Like let's talk about our emotions kind of boyfriend.
The nice guy.
The nice guy. But what happens to nice guys when before them was the toxic boyfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell where this is gonna go. But Armand shows up, and he like puts out his arms so that the girl can like run to him and be safe. And he holds her, and then he just like throws her off to like the other vampires, and they start eating her on stage. And everyone's like, "Oh man, what a show!" It looks so.
This is
man,
awesome.
Good.
Man. The practical effects in this movie are sick.
Yeah, she was eaten on stage.
Yeah,
and that's when Louis leaves.
He's just like, I can't do this. Like he's got to quit being such a bitch.
Yeah, dude,
you're a vampire.
For
Man
someone,
up,
for
nut
someone
up.
who was such a boomer in the beginning of the movie, he was such a soy boy in this one.
Yeah, exactly. Nut up, you're a vampire. Fucking kill someone. But no, he just wants to live in peace and feed on rats.
Mm-hmm.
And
where are my slaves?
Yeah, exactly. I want my slaves back. Life was easier. Yeah, life was easier when there was slavery.
We're back on the plantation. If you're the master, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. If you're white, yeah. White with money, it was easier. But yeah, no, he leaves. He's upset at the show.
Yeah.
And Armand
saves, but he like covers up that girl with his big old cloak, the naked girl.
Yes.
And then, Louis like, I gotta meet him. I gotta meet Armand. And so they talk about how he's the oldest vampire known to man.
Older than Lestat?
Older than Lestat. Apparently, Lestat and Armand used to be a thing.
Oh.
Of course,
Who hasn't Lestat bottomed or
Lestat,
top for?
Dude. Close your legs, dude. But
Lestat's definitely a top.
Lestat's a power top. I don't even want to think about that.
Just thinking about what's his name?
The guy from Queen of the Damned?
No. I was gonna say.
That's what I was thinking of.
Shit,
I
can't think of the actor that plays Lestat right now.
Oh, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, just thinking of Tom Cruise's short ass topping someone taller than him.
If I was gonna think about Tom Cruise topping anybody, it's him when he's in the Tropic Thunder character, where he's balding with the glasses, but he's super intense. That's who I picture topping him. And so Armand is explaining to him that he's the oldest vampire, and he's all his questions are not being answered. The only thing that Armand pretty much knows is he's the oldest. I've not seen any kind of like miracles, gods, angels, none of that. I don't know if we're going to hell. I just know that we're here forever, and you're part of like this group, this vampire group now. And man, that pisses Louis off. It pissed me off too. You go all the way to a whole nother world, and you're like, no answers here. It's just us.
Yeah, we've always been. Sorry.
Always been here, and now we're doing plays. Now we're doing plays.
Now we're the first Cirque du Soleil.
So he's explaining that to him, and Claudia hears it, and Claudia and Louis are looking at each other, and they're like, "Let's get out of here.
Let's bounce."
Yeah, I'm hungry. You know, Louis still doesn't eat people, but Claudia is.
He's still vegan?
Yeah, he's still. He's vegan to a point. You know?
Vampire vegan?
Vampire vegan. So Claudia is telling Louis, like, obviously you're into Armand. Like, you got your answers, not all of them, but you got them, and now you have no need for me.
Girl, you're into Armand.
Girl, it's all over your face. Yeah, he's trying to like, no, what? You're crazy. Trying to gaslight her, like, no, I'm not into Armand.
Secretly, he's just like
brushing away his hair.
Hope he texts me.
He tries to explain it. She's like, no, I get it. I know you. And they show the theater people like doing more stories. And as that's going on, Louis and Armand are taking a walk through the catacombs. He's showing them the rooms. Like, here's where we stay. This could be yours. Look at this lavish house. I can clearly take care of you. He's trying to be the daddy, the sugar daddy to Louis.
I mean, this movie is full of daddies. Like,
yeah, now we got two more daddies together again. And he's explaining the laws. There's like vampire laws. And when I was listening to these laws, I was like,
it doesn't matter what like monster you are, there's always going to be some kind of fucking bureaucratic laws.
What are these commandments that are just...
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and everything's blood.
We're you're telling me we're immortal beings, but we still have to follow rules? Oh, man.
What do you mean I can't make vampire kids? It's hilarious. Look at them. Little kids flying around. But
they absolutely hate their lives.
Those little kids just like reciting Egyptian lore, you know, from like 600 years ago. Their minds would melt. For being kids so that long, I couldn't do it.
Now, is this the scene where we see Armand's like, what is he, like his peg boy or something like that? His little like...
Yeah, he's like, check out my virgin child that you can like drink out of. He's got type A blood.
Yeah.
But he's just a kid with a whole bunch of punctured holes all over.
Oh man, that existence would suck.
Yeah, God, being a human juice box.
Yeah.
That you can reseal and unseal whenever you want. It's terrible. Laws. The laws for everything. When I heard about these laws, I was like, does vampires need any more laws? I mean, originally it was like they can't go in the sun, crucifixes can kill them, stakes can kill them, and now there's laws about like you can't drink somebody to death, you can't have their last drop, you can't have kid vampires, you can't kill other vampires. Did you expect any of these new laws to stay in like other vampire movies?
I feel like it's the you can't kill other vampires has always been a thing.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, I feel like that's always been a thing because I mean they even make fun of it in like What We Do in the Shadows, the show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I believe it's been a lore for a long time.
Yeah, these lore laws they pretty much stayed after these movies, and when they were being told in this one, I was like, oh, that's right, vampires have like all these laws and stuff, and I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, well, I mean what is it called? What, like a group of vampires? Is that a coven or?
I think or
is that a witch?
It's a bat cave.
A flock?
It's a flock. Yeah, it's a murder is what it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's plenty of murder when they're around. Yeah, well, I mean, what do you call a group of bats?
A goth club. If we put the camera upside down.
Yeah.
A bunch of hanging bats. They're all just dancing goths.
Yeah, well, but I mean, they usually they stick in groups, don't they?
Yeah, they stick in groups. They kind of need each other.
Yeah.
They're like little clans.
And then they always have a peg boy or familiar.
Yeah, familiar. Yeah, familiars have been around for a long time. And the kid in that one, I was like, he's just a juice box. But later on, we see him like, you know, driving the horse, driving the horse carriage.
Who's the best familiar?
Oh man, from Bram Stoker's Dracula, the guy with the glasses who looks crazy.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Yeah, that one's
good. I'm a huge fan of What We Do in the Shadows, the show. So Guillermo, he's pretty. He's pretty funny.
He was so good, he became a vampire.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers for What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah,
it's a great TV show.
What is season 4 or 5?
Yeah,
such an awesome show.
So good.
But yeah, so we get all the laws.
Yeah, so when he's explaining the laws, he's explaining that Claudia is like a walking
abomination.
Like she's like a court case. Like she's about to get executed just for being alive because you can't have kid vampires. And he's like, well, you're gonna stop them, right? And he goes, well, I'm not the leader of this group, but if I was, I couldn't stop them if I wanted to. And so he like runs over to Claudia to make sure she's okay, and she's fine, but she's actually got a woman with him, and it's she wants her new companion, and she's like, I got this lady over here, and I tried.
I had 2 dads, now I want a mom.
2 dads don't make a mom. I want a mom.
Yeah.
Right now. And he's like, no, I can't. I barely eat rats. You want me to turn a human? And she's like, you better. Kirsten Dunst was awesome in that scene. The anger she had was so sick.
I'm confused. Is it like a father-daughter relationship, or is she actually in love with him?
I think she loves him.
Like, because she's not a child,
right.
So she's got
a child's body.
She's a grown-ass woman, and she's grown up with these beautiful men around, and one of them so happens to take on that like fatherly role.
Yeah,
but it's more of a like almost like that fucking George Michael's song.
What song?
Where he's talking about being her father figure and stuff like that, but it's like it's about fucking.
But I think he's got a certain perspective of the relationship.
Oh yeah, he's gay.
Another one. Yeah, he's gay.
He likes men. She likes him.
But he likes her like a daughter.
Yeah, so it's just a weird dichotomy. But she now wants a mom since
he's leaving.
Yeah,
and she knows, and she's like, you better make me this companion before you leave me. And he's like, you know what? Since I'm leaving, I'll make you this companion. And he turns another. He's only turning women. If you notice, he's only turning women. And she's like dying, like on the floor, because it's happening. And so he's explaining that to Claudia. And while he's explaining that, the theater group, the theater kids show up and they snatch them away. Man. And they're the
theater kids are the worst.
Especially these theater kids. Yeah. They're way too into their roles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They take them, the 3 of them, and they lock them up. And 2 of them, Claudia and the woman, are locked up in a cell with no ceiling.
It's like a giant well.
Yeah, it's like a giant well.
But I forget, they can fly.
Yeah, right?
Why didn't they fly out? Oh no, wasn't there?
There's like grates.
Yeah, there's a grate above it. I was just like, wait a minute, why didn't they fly out? But it was a well with a grate over it, so sun can get in, but they can't get out.
Right. But Louis was trapped in a coffin. They locked him in a coffin and they wouldn't let him out. And then we see Armand hours later, when everyone's like asleep. He basically lets Louis out, and he books it to the cell where Claudia and the woman are.
It's too late.
It's too late.
They're just a pile of ash.
Well, they're a pile of ash, but they're formed in.
Almost looks like the scene, or like that image of Pompeii, like those people like embracing themselves, like right after they got like.
It's just like that.
Like annihilated by a volcano.
That's so messed up. But I was watching the commentary on this, and they had the special effects team look at pictures of like Hiroshima, and how they had like the people like make the ashes like on the wall behind them, and it was that scene, the woman holding the child like trying to cover them.
Yeah,
they used that for reference for this scene, and I was like, oh, so they're not just burned, they're Hiroshima bombed. Yeah. In this, if you're a vampire, you're gonna get nuked by the sun.
Yeah, exactly.
It's terrifying. I wouldn't want to be a vampire for that. But Armand can't do anything about it. He's like, oh, tough shit, Louis. Like, I'm sorry.
Tough titties.
Tough titties, Strickleton. And so,
but man, the more we talk about it, the less I ever want to become a vampire.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Like, I think the only like good thing is getting to see all the Marvel movies, and those stopped being good after like Endgame, pretty much.
But yeah, arbitrary rules.
It's so bad.
The sun killing you. Just, I don't know, man. Living forever would kind of suck.
Yeah, I guess so. There's only so much you could learn. I mean, our knowledge has a cap until someone discovers something else, and it's not going to be a vampire who can't go out in the daytime. You lose half the day. You're basically being sold on half immortality.
Yeah, I was
going
to say,
immortal, except you can't go out 12 hours during the day.
Yeah, you would definitely have to move to a city where people are out at night.
You see, this made sense in that movie 30 Days and 30 Nights, where the vampires.
Oh yeah, 30 day. What is it? 30 Days of Night or something like that?
Oh, I was thinking of the other Josh Hartnett movie where he can't have sex for 30 days or 30 nights. He's also in 30 Days of Night. Yeah, with vampires.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
That's another.
That's another horror movie. Yeah, not being able to have sex for 30 days.
Yeah, that was bad. And he gets told that. I mean, he's not told, but he gets the chance to get revenge. Armand is like, hey, like, I'm not their leader, so I guess it's not exactly me like punishing my kids for doing this, but I will, let you. Oh, I'll unlock the door for you.
Yeah, I'll leave the back door open.
Asleep, and don't do anything I wouldn't do if this was me. And he burns them all.
Yeah.
And this scene is awesome.
Yeah, he's lighting them all on fire, and as they're like one by one waking up, he's got that big, huge scythe.
Dude, that huge scythe from the movie, I thought was a prop. That's a real scythe.
Yeah, he's just like hacking their heads off as they wake up, like jumping out of the coffin.
Flying. Those decapitations are.
Yeah,
nice
that's probably, I mean, the most action in that whole movie.
Oh yeah, this is the action scene.
Yeah,
yeah. All the vampires are just flying around. They're trying to escape out the windows, but they're burning like at the same time. So they're catching the whole place on fire.
Yeah,
and then he finally gets that last vampire. The first one he met.
Oh, the mime?
The mime.
Fuck that mime.
He's miming him as they're fighting. And I was like, oh, this guy sucks, dude.
He's like, you're trapped in a box. And then he gets scythed.
He gets scythed in half, and it's so rewarding.
Yep. Mime this shit.
Louis gets his revenge, and he basically tells Armand, like, this sucks, dude. I'm out of here. I'm going back to Nolans.
Nolans?
Yeah, back to Nolans. And Armand's like, I get it. You know, go have your fun.
Oh, man. So they didn't get together?
Oh, I know, right?
So dumb.
Maybe on the TV show.
Maybe. We got to watch the TV show.
Oh, yeah. That's for sure.
We'll do a recap of the TV show.
He goes back to New Orleans. And now it's like present time.
Yeah. So he decides that he's just going to like hang out and watch like civilization progress and stuff like that.
I mean, when he left, what year was that? Like 1910?
Something like that.
Early 1900s?
Yeah.
Oh, there's still horse carriages.
Yeah, there was still horse carriages and maybe one of those wind-up cars. But now he's watching like black and white movies.
Yeah.
And then as he steps out of the black and white movie, you see the marquee, and it's like a modern day movie. So he's just been watching movies.
I mean, that's what you do when you're a vampire. You can't go in the daytime. Might as well be a film critic.
So yeah, a movie blogger.
Yeah. And that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's watching movies.
Yeah, he's watching movies. He's got a Letterboxd account.
It's not inconspicuous at all. It's probably like his
Bloodsucker 69 420.
They'll never suspect this. Not enough vampires in this movie, but guys, can we get some more vampire representation?
Yeah, I was gonna say
all his reviews are the same.
All of his reviews are just vampire movies.
Yeah, Nosferatu's dumb.
Lost Boys, there was plenty of boys.
That'd be great to see Louis' movie reviews as a YouTube channel. He's leaving like the movie theater that he's watching, and he just decides to like take a stroll down like old New Orleans.
Yeah, down memory lane.
Down memory lane.
And then he gets like a whiff, you know?
It's so weird how he smells it.
Yeah, it's like that meme. I don't know if you've seen it, where it's like when you're out in public and you smell her perfume, and it's like it's the Akira thing, like like
leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Oh, so good. He gets that.
Yeah,
he gets that again. So he follows the smell, and he goes up into this old like abandoned house, and it's Lestat.
He's all burnt.
He's like a corpse. He looks like he's aged 1,000 years.
Yeah, he's still kind of.
He's like, barely holding on.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a corpse
when
we last saw
him. You thought he was messed up then.
Yeah,
it was worse.
So I mean, he spent this whole time not like regenerating.
No, I guess he hasn't found like a. I guess he was saying that vampires need like another vampire to help them feed, pretty much, because he was too weak, and he needs to like tag team.
Oh, so he couldn't like take down a human by himself in this state.
Yeah, and plus he was still wearing old clothes, and it was like present time. He's wearing like antique, like ripped up clothes. So it's probably all he's got. He couldn't buy anything. Yeah. You can't go to the store in the daytime.
Could you imagine like starting like a savings account? Like
what's your name? Lestat Barfamad?
just starting
a ID, birth certificate? No.
I mean, all you got to do is leave it to. Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, don't they have hypnosis? I could have sworn they can read each other's minds or some shit.
Oh yeah, he's got some powers like that.
Yeah.
I mean,
so you
could
could
really
just
tell like what kind of powers he has.
Yeah.
He has the power to like read minds. I don't know if he has the power to like
manipulate minds.
Like, hey, I need you to to make sure that check has got 3 extra zeros on it.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, if you would have opened a savings account in like 1910,
okay.
And then you live forever.
You had there?
Yeah, it just with the combined interest of like 100 years, like you get back and you're just filthy rich. Yeah. Like,
until you realize they're like, hey, this is your grandpa's account, isn't it? Oh, that's right. I changed my ID like 30 years ago.
Well, yeah, that's why you have psychic powers to just be like,
yep.
Ignore
anyone
that.
That asks, just, you Jedi mind tricks them.
Yeah, exactly. Kill yourself.
Turn around and walk away.
Yeah. Just hold your breath and keep holding it.
Louis is talking to Lestat, telling him about the new world, and because when they're sitting down in the room, a helicopter just flies really close to the window, I guess.
Lestat's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, they put a searchlight on it, and he's like, oh, it's the sun. And no, it's a fucking light bulb. Lestat.
You have electricity.
Yeah, you can't just be locked in a room for 100 years and not know about this. You know, the movie theater is right outside.
Yeah.
And he basically tries to like, not like, you know, try to convince Louis to like be his partner again. He's kind of just like trying to reminisce.
You
about
remember those good times?
Remember the good times we had, you know? He was basically being that toxic ex-boyfriend.
Yeah, texting, being like,
those
what
late
you?
night texts.
Yeah.
You know? I miss us.
Yeah, what you doing?
Yeah, what you doing? You know, without me?
Oh man,
those texts. Yeah, he's definitely that kind of guy. And Louis is like, oh, you're pathetic, dude.
Yeah,
he's sad. This is no, I am. He's got a nice suit on. It makes me think like, how come Lestat couldn't adapt to the modern times, but Louis could?
Because he's a walking corpse.
Yeah, but no, that's right. We can talk about that. Because Louis came back after his trip with Armand, so he was fine.
Yeah, he was
Lestat
fine.
was already messed up.
Yeah.
To start. But he basically leaves him. He's like, no, I'm out of here.
Yeah, fend for yourself.
Yeah, stay here. Go have some rats. You know.
Could he regenerate off of rats? I mean, that's what he did in the swamp.
That's what he did in the swamp. I don't
Yeah.
see why he couldn't do that on rats. Unless it's only rats.
Oof, that would suck.
Yeah,
It would probably take longer
Yeah.
if he's drinking just rat blood.
Yeah, because Louis had some puppies here and there.
Yeah.
He probably had some like horses from the stable at one point.
Something.
He
Like,
had something because
is he still living off of animals?
I think so,
Huh.
because he doesn't. We don't see anything, but I'm assuming he does.
Yeah. So he stayed a vegan
Right,
vampire.
and that's the story. The interview stops there, and we see Christian Slater like upset. He's like, "What? That's it?" He's like, "Yeah, that's it."
Yeah, present day.
Yeah, it's been 2 hours, dude. And he's like, "Well, what do you mean? Don't you want to be like all powerful and take over like all like the world and stuff?" And he's like, "No, what are you talking about? Like, I'm cursed. This life sucks." And he's like, "I would do tons of stuff if I was a vampire. You have no idea.
I'd be fucking.
I'd be flying. I'd be super powerful. I'd have all these kind of powers. And
Women, powers, riches, women." He's just like,
yeah, Christian Slater would be that kind of vampire.
he's like,
And
what would you do if you were a supervillain?
Yeah, pretty much.
That guy.
But Louis was not having it. He yells at him, he chokes him and puts him up into the ceiling, and he's like, "Is this what you want? Is this what?" And he freaks out. And so Christian Slater like runs off. He like runs away. Luckily, he grabs the tapes as he's running out the door, and he gets in his car and almost like sideswipes somebody. And as he's leaving, he puts on a tape, and he cut everything. So he's got his tape, and then we get one more shot of Lestat. One more appearance. He comes out from the back seat like Jason.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Jason, like Captain Spaulding,
Yep.
like
Texas Chainsaw. Well, not Texas Chainsaw. But yeah, they're driving away, and he pops out, and he bites Christian Slater, right?
I think so. I think we see him like,
Yeah, he bites him, and he gets his youth back. So now it's young.
no, I thought he was
Lestat.
youthful already when he was in his back seat.
Was he?
I think so.
missed it. Okay, so somehow I guess some time had passed.
Yeah, that's what I find weird, that
Yeah.
like he was youthful already. That's when he pops out. And,
Right. So some time has passed, enough just for him to to stalk Louis some more, find out that Christian Slater is talking to him, and then he hops in Christian Slater's backseat, and then he finishes the movie by saying, "I'm going to give you the choice that I never had," and the cycle starts again. Lestat's adventures just keep going.
The cycle of toxic
You
masculinity.
can't keep a bad guy down.
Nope.
This
El
vampire is-
Tóxico. The original Tóxico.
He's got the bumper sticker on the back of his
Yep.
car. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely the toxic masculine boyfriend.
What an end.
Such a
What an
good
end
movie.
to It was great.
Yeah, first time ever watching it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a
But you saw Queen of the Damned before, right?
yeah. I did see Queen of the Damned before.
Yeah.
So
They're a nice double feature.
one is definitely better than the other.
Yes. And one is a nice music video.
Yeah, one is shot like a music video,
Right.
like a new metal music video, and then the other one is an actual movie.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, but the stats in both, you couldn't even convince me those were the same. Those stats, if I didn't know this was Anne Rice.
well, they're not the same. They're different actors, but
No, I mean like character wise.
oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, because originally when she wrote the book, he was a bad guy. She wrote him as a bad guy. He was a bad guy, and people just loved him so much
Yeah.
that when she wrote Queen of the Damned and I think it was like Prince Lestat or something like that. Those are the ones that follow. she had to like retcon that whole like bad guy thing.
Yeah, wow.
So he
Give
became
people what they want.
yeah, he became like a hero. Well, not necessarily a hero. He's
He's
still
toxic.
no, he was still toxic, but he was more like almost like an anti-hero.
Oh yeah.
And then they like introduced more like older vampires and stuff like that.
Yeah, because Queen of the Damned, there's another cult.
Yeah.
There's more vampires in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the story goes on, the books go on, and now they have a TV show.
Yeah.
But man, this movie was a good pick for me. I'd probably rate it 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably up there too. It's still not my favorite vampire movie.
Yeah.
But it's definitely up there.
It's really good. Great cast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, great. I mean, it must have taken a long time to shoot like old school like plantations, New Orleans, then London, and then like 80s New Orleans. Must have taken a long time.
Yeah.
Great sets. Yeah.
Great sets. You know, I like some of the like the fun facts that came out of it. Like,
yeah.
Like the whole. I don't know if you knew this, but Tom Cruise is short. He's a shorty. He's a short king. Yeah, he's like
tall.
No, he's like 5'5" or something like that.
Oh, okay.
But and Brad Pitt is like 6 foot.
Oh shit.
So there's scenes where they'd be walking and the camera would be following them. What they did was they dug trenches. So they would dig a trench so that Brad Pitt was lower in the ground while they were walking side by side, so they looked the same height.
Dang, dude.
So yeah, I mean they use that like same like angle shots that
right.
like that what's his name Peter Jackson did to make everyone look like hobbits, but in reverse.
Yeah.
But in reverse.
Taking notes. He was like,
all right, how do we?
Tom Cruise looks so tall.
Okay, so you're telling me they shot from above? So we'll just shoot everyone from below to make them look smaller?
Genius. Oh man, I'm gonna use that for my next hit trilogy.
Yeah, exactly.
That was great. That's an awesome fun fact.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff that came out from that movie, but that one was always one of my favorites.
That's so funny. Tom Cruise was not tall enough.
Yeah.
But also Brad Pitt. I mean, they had to have known when they were doing the casting.
Yeah, I mean,
gotta do something about this.
Yeah, but I've heard that there was like some of the cast weren't like originally picked for it.
Oh no, not first choices.
No,
Claudia was probably somebody else.
I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah.
Well, there are different ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
well, what were some of your favorite? There's not a lot, but what was some of your favorite kills in this?
I mean the one at the end when he kills all the vampires, that was pretty cool.
That was mine.
That was yours?
Yeah, that was mine.
I was gonna say if that one, if not that one, when he kills the dog and the lady freaks out and then and Lestat has to like snap her neck. Like that one was pretty good.
That was good. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely that end scene when he gets his revenge on all of them.
Man, that's such a good scene. And that's the movie.
That's the movie. Any final thoughts, plops?
I mean, final thoughts is if we got, I would recommend the TV show. I recommend we watch the TV show.
Yeah, that's definitely
because it looks really good.
Future. I hear there's a lot. I hear they go full gay.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Like borderline. Like
good. Because it was so like tense between the characters.
It was always like stopping like this close, but never
like
just
chicken.
like never gay chicken.
Yeah, it was like gay chicken.
Gay chicken is when you should see how close you can put your wieners together before touching the tips. Like that's gay chicken.
Well, it was close. It was close enough.
Just right before you go docking.
Right before it. That's gay chicken. Are there any losers in that game? I don't know.
No, everyone's a winner in gay chicken.
But we'll find out the winner of this gay chicken between us next time.
Yep.
On Monsters, Movies, and Mayhem, aka MMM, or as we like to say. Say bye, Brian.
Bye, Brian.
Oh wait, yeah, your name is Brian.
Monsters, Movies, and Mayhem.